this video, I want to do a little sneak peek into the back end of my comic book shop and talk about the flow that I typically see with new inventory and new collections when they come in. And we'll just kind of talk a little bit about the books that sell right away, the books that take a little bit longer, and then the books that are really tough to sell. And then we'll meet back here and I'll tell you the #1 book in recent months that doesn't last more than a day in my shop. Without fail, I post it, it sells almost instantly. And I think if you're a comic book collector, a flipper, an investor, whatever the case may be, there's some really interesting points of discussion around comic book sales throughout this video. But before we hop into it, we always have that giveaway here on the YouTube channel. If you subscribe, comment, and like, you're entered to win a free slab each and every month. And if you head over to bryscomics.com, it's where you'll find all the books that are featured in this video and new inventory constantly hitting the website. You get first access when I send out that email notification of new inventory. Use code COLLECT10 for 10% off, and as long as you're signed up for the newsletter, you're entered to win a free slab each and every month. Follow me over on Whatnot. We're going to have a slab show this Friday at 5 p.m. $1 starts on tons of new slabs. They've been kind of piling up, and I want to do a big Whatnot show in the near future, like a premium slab show with 50 slab giveaway. So make sure you're subbed up to me over there. Give me a follow. If you use the link down in the description, you'll get $15 towards your first purchase on Whatnot. So let's go look at the inventory and talk about some trends that I see. All right, so a little flow thing that works well for me is when we get a new collection in, this is where I take photos of the books, and depending on the size of the collection, I'll just leave it here unorganized, just the new stuff, because usually about 30 to 50% of the new stuff sells right away the first day. So it doesn't even make sense to organize it or put it in any kind of order. Just have the new stuff here, and the next day when I print the labels, you know, about 30 to 50% of it usually sells. And then after a couple days, then I move it into this inventory over here, which is, you know, the stuff that didn't sell the first day, but like within a couple weeks. And then typically, whenever I get around to it, it moves from there into the place where slabs go to die in my shop. Now, this is where, you know, the stuff that has really been sticking around for a long time, and there'll be some interesting conversations around that. But let's take a look at the stuff that has been here for just a few days. Some of this stuff has posted within the last couple days and absolutely well sell. This is the Amazing Spider-Man box. This is all that's left of Amazing Spider-Man. And I would say in the past 2 weeks, so in the past 2 weeks, we had about 25 boxes, I would say, like this, and we're down to 12. And so over half of it is gone. And there was probably 3 or 4 boxes of Amazing Spider-Man. So that'll tell you right there, right off the bat, Amazing Spider-Man, super hot. And some of it, like this, just recently listed, 9.8. I'm sure that will sell very soon. This one sold this morning. Mark Jewelers insert. Craven. Okay, so Craven is actually an interesting point of discussion here. This one's actually really cool. This is a Mark Jewelers insert for this book, which you do not see all the time. But here's another Craven book. This one I've gotten a ton of offers on, and I'm just like not willing to take an offer. It's a 9.8 newsstand, white pages, and I will gladly enjoy that until it sells for a fair price. I have it at, you know, like recent price. So here's another Rhino book. So this brings up an interesting point, which is like catching the tail end of movie hype. So the first influx and interest in this was when the Craven movie hit theaters, and then we had a second little influx when it actually went to Netflix, because inevitably there's a lot of people that wait until the show comes out on Netflix to watch it, and that has come and passed too. So I think probably a lot of people are thinking, maybe if I just wait a little longer, the price on this book will come down, and it probably will. This book, I believe I actually did a trade on this, and I'm just waiting for the trade books to come in. But look at this, we have 2 copies of this. And this one, it's only been listed for a couple days, a 9.6 white. It's an absolutely gorgeous copy of this book. But the problem, it's not really a problem, but the truth of the matter is that it's very expensive. It's $7,000 was the most recent sale. I have it listed for trade as well, and I'm positive I will get a trade offer on this, if not a cash purchase. More likely a trade offer on that. It's just probably going to take a little while to get the right eyes on it. This book, I got multiple offers right away. A 9.0 white pager. Anytime you have an ASM key like sub 20 in white pages, it's super desirable. The page quality just really makes it fly off the shelf. Not to say that off-white to white or even a cream pager doesn't sell, it's just the white pages sell right away. Action comics, so restored Golden Age books, super slow movers. This one's actually only been posted for a couple days, so I'm sure it will sell. Adventure comics, man, it's like these things are so affordable, and yet they just sit. They just sit and sit. Batman can be kind of a slow burn. These books usually sell right away. The 666 and the 655. 9.6, a little bit longer to get the 9.6, 9.8s of this story arc usually sell right away. King comics or your Gold Key comics, those tend to take a little bit longer to move. So Silver Surfer keys right now, I just closed a trade deal on this one, so that one, I'm just waiting for the trade books to come in. But I'm kind of surprised that FF48 and a 3.5 and a 6.5 at, I think it's with the 10% off, it's below fair market value. I'm kind of surprised that these are sticking around. It makes me wonder, like, is the FOMO, the hype for Silver Surfer, is it starting to die out? You know, because, but to be fair, like even like peak Silver Surfer hype, they typically don't sell the first day. And I'm not sure what that's about. I think there's a lot of options for that book. There's a lot of them out there. Marvel Spotlight 28, this is just a book, you know, it's like $1,000, I believe, and it's just a lot of money. You know, I know there's somebody out there that would gladly pay $1,000 or whatever the current price of this is on the site, but just hasn't seen it yet. So a lot of it is, you know, logistics. This one, a big premium for the Stan Lee signature, which is awesome. I mean, major MCU character, Stan Lee sig. I might have to offer this one up for trade. Anytime I have a book, oh, what do we got here? Golden Record reprint. I almost had a little heart attack right there. But yeah, any of these more expensive books, like this is Hulk 2, that I believe it's around $1,700. You know, I just don't have time to offer everything up for trade, you know, so it's kind of like right now my days are full, but I could go through these boxes and have, you know, 10 or 20 new books to offer up for trade and get trade offers and move them that way. But because of time constraints, I'm happy to just, you know, have them listed, and when I have some free time, I'll go and add more trades. This one will probably need to be traded. Incredible Hulk #1, it's coverless, $2,800, fair price in today's market. But hey, if you're looking for that entry-level Hulk, this is one book that coverless still looks great because it's got this awesome splash. All right, let's go to the graveyard. The place where slabs go to die. These books, if they've been in here, they've been here for a while, and we'll see some trends. Astonishing Tales 15 and a 9.8. It's an awesome cover, 9.8 white pages from 1972. But this is going to take the right run filler to find this book and to want this book. And of run fillers, how many are filling the Astonishing Tales run? So a very niche book that eventually will find a new home. CBCS, people hate it. They just absolutely hate it. Say what you will about the companies, but if it's a CBCS and it's not a 9.8, man, it's going to sit. These books tend not to do very well. These like J. Scott Campbell high ratio retailer incentives. This one they call like a retro variant, where they just pixelate it a little bit and call it a variant. Typically they don't perform very well. This is a really rare book, a 1 in 200 Phil Noto, but just not a lot of people know about it because it's so rare. Another run filler book, 9/8 white, 1984, non-key Avengers. It's going to sit. It's got a cool cover. It will sell, but it's going to sit. This is a book that had some spec behind it. This is the retailer incentive version for Avengers, the Children's Crusade. You know, I should probably just pull this and wait until like a new spec about it pops off. I'm sure it will double in value because it's not easy to find that book. Another, you know, high grade run filler type thing, non-key, that is going to just take a little while. Good old Jimmy Wakely. I knew as soon as I saw Jimmy was going to be with me for quite some time. Perez Virgin Editions, the George Perez. So high ratio George Perez retailer incentives don't perform that well. They're cool covers. They're worth money. I mean, if I went live on Whatnot, I'd probably get $50 to $75 for it, but It Ain't Me Babe from 1970, an all-female produced comic book, and I believe the first of its kind. Taking a little bit longer. I mean, I'll let you draw your own conclusions. 99.9% of my customer base is men, but I'll let you draw your own conclusions about that. Why this has not sold? I mean, good God, she is just bursting out of that thing. Oh, there it is, CBCS, non 9.8. They hate it. They don't want it. People hate the CBCS. 9.6 Star Wars, a little bit harder to sell. 9.6 Star Wars. This one, I'm surprised. This is the first appearance of Spider-Boy, 1 in 100 Ross sketch. I think most people don't recognize that as the first Spider-Boy. Raggedy Ann and Andy. As soon as I saw Raggedy Ann, I knew she was going to be with me for quite some time. I should probably put her next to Jimmy Wakely and they can reminisce about old times. All right, so the book that doesn't last more than a day when I post it, usually doesn't last more than an hour in recent months, is Something is Killing the Children, #1, first print, cover A. And what's interesting about that is the other covers tend to stick around for like a week maybe, or a couple days at least, like the Unlocked Retailer variant by Jenny Friesen. Now, the interesting thing about this is, and I have a theory about why this book doesn't perform as well and doesn't sell as quickly as the cover A. It's an awesome cover by Jenny Friesen. It's more rare than the cover A, but I think it's diluted, okay? I think they've diluted the cover concept, and because of that, people are less likely to jump on it, I guess. I mean, it's almost like almost every single issue of Something is Killing the Children has a Jenny Friesen variant of this style, like a close-up of Erica's face, you know. And the thing that's interesting about it is I still like to see them. You know, if there's Something is Killing the Children, issue number 34, Jenny Friesen Virgin variant, it's cool, it's awesome. I see it and I think that'll sell, you know, but it won't sell for that much. And the more that they do it, the more diluted it's becoming. So I kind of wish that, you know, when they find a good thing, that they don't just run it into the ground, you know, keep it like as, you know, novel as they can. But the cover A, for whatever reason, is the one that resonates with people. It's the flex book. It's the one that everyone recognizes and they go, wow, oh, you got issue #1, like first print, cover A. Even though it's not the most rare of the variants, it performs the best. And so we'll see how that fares over time. And, you know, I'm a huge fan of Something is Killing the Children. This is my personal copies right here. I have a 9.9 of the local comic shop day edition. When I got it, I think there was only 4 9.9s compared to like, I think thousands of the other copies. So it was super hard to get this in 9.9. I'm not sure what the census is now. This is my first print, cover A, signed by James Tynion. And this is one of the most rare versions of the cover A. This is the Brazilian edition free comic book day, and it's signed and sketched here by Werther Deladeira. But the crazy thing is I mean, there's probably a handful of these on the census. And I'm almost certain that it would be harder to sell this than to sell the one that had 33,000 copies printed. So it's just logistics, it's numbers, there's more to it than just rarity. So, but fascinating nonetheless. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think Something is Killing the Children is a good purchase right now? Do you think it has upside potential? I think that it has both. It has a lot of upside potential and it has a lot of downside potential, depending on how they do the show. You know, recently I just sold an Invincible #1. The first print cover A's for Invincible #1 are hitting like $4,500, which I think is just crazy for what it is, you know, but that show is performing really, really well. I'm definitely curious to see where Something is Killing the Children lands. I am super hopeful that it is a cult classic show that's received incredibly well and goes on for 10 seasons. I've been dying for something like that ever since The Walking Dead went away, you know, and this definitely has the potential for that. But I can also see it falling flat on its face. So we'll see how it pans out. Thanks for sticking with me to the end of the video. Don't forget those 2 giveaways. If you subscribe, comment, and like, you're entered to win a free slab here. And head over to BryceComics.com. Shoot me an offer on Raggedy Ann, for God's sake. Take that Jimmy Wakely off my hands. Somebody, please. No, I'm just kidding. I get a chuckle every time I see him. So I'm happy to sit on all of this for the first time in a long time. You know, I have no problem having inventory in the shop with the potential future of the comic book market. So things are good. Thanks to you. Thanks for all the support, people. I truly appreciate it. We'll catch you in the next video. Bye.